Welcome everyone, it's Grandma Mo. We're covering the UCLA Bruins, and UCLA was in a battle this time. Didn't play as well as they have been. They scored under 20 points in two quarters. The first being the most evident. They just weren't hitting their shots. When you look at the stats, I mean they've been shooting over 50%. They still shot 46%, but that was a lot of, in the second and third quarters they started shooting better, mostly the third. But their three-point shooting was terrible. It was 23%, which was same thing for Michigan. Um, they were 12 for 15 from the foul line, 80%. That was good. They out rebounded Michigan, but only by one. They usually out rebound teams by a lot more. Um, but they shot 46% from the floor, but they weren't hitting anything. I mean, they had like 8 points most of the first quarter, and then they scored a couple to bring it to 13. The other glaring stat that is pointed out here is the assists. Usually they've been over 20 assists. They only had 13 in this game. So, I mean, some of it is due to Michigan was hustling. They were hustling all over the place. And, it gave UCLA some problems. But, if they even hit half of their shots in the first quarter, this would have been a 15-point game or more. But they just weren't hitting their shots. They went inside to Lauren Betts, and she pretty much took care of business. I don't know what her shooting percentage was. She missed a couple inside, but, she made some great power moves. That power move she has to the left is just phenomenal. If she's allowed to do that, but, it's 2 points. And then they were all over her. They were trapping her and double teaming, triple teaming her. But you know what? Bottom line is UCLA got the win. Michigan gave UConn fits too. So it's nothing, and Michigan's 20-4. They're the 8th-ranked team. They're no slouch. And, but UCLA pulled it out. They had two 20-plus point quarters in the second and third quarter. They scored 13, 20, 21, and then 15 to give them 69 points, which is lower than they usually score, which I attribute to mostly they just weren't hitting their shots. I mean, they got good looks, especially in the first quarter, then they just weren't falling. So, that is why they only scored 13 points. Michigan, on the other hand, 17, then they had a 13-point quarter in the second. 15 points in the third, and then 20. They made a run because UCLA was up by, I want to say, 12 or 13 points for pretty much the third and about half of the fourth quarter. And then Michigan was, they were fighting for their lives. So they definitely made a push towards the end to get it down to 3. But, just not one of UCLA. I mean, the turnovers 13, they had less than Michigan, but 13's okay. It's not, that's not a horrible turnover amount. They outscored in points in the paint, 46-32. So looking at the points, UCLA had 4 players in double figures. Neepkins had 12, Hawkes had 13, Kiki Rice had 20, and Lauren Betts had 16. But Lauren Betts was grabbing a lot of rebounds, 16 rebounds for her. She also had 5 assists, so double-double for Lauren Betts. I wish she would be more aggressive, she'll be like guarding somebody and she'll let somebody go by instead of just just jumping up and swatting the thing. Be the rim defender. That I wish she was more aggressive like that. But maybe she used to be more, but I think she's probably worried about foul trouble, so she doesn't do that. And I guess she really hasn't had to because they've been winning. So it's like if someone scores a hoop, it's not that big of a deal. Let's see here. Ledger Walker had 4 points. She only had 2 assists in this game and 2 rebounds. Sienna Betts had 4 points and 4 rebounds. Interesting that her and her sister both had the identical points and rebounds. 16 and 16 and 4 and 4. Anyway, UCLA gets the win. Michigan, they held Swords in check. She was the one that gave UConn fits. She was hitting threes like it was going out of style. But this game, she only had 8 points. But Holloway, very good guard for them. Very fast, hustling. She had 15 points. And then Olivia Olson also, very good, 20 points. She had 7 rebounds. Swords had 8 points and 8 rebounds. Brooke Daniels, 7 points and 8 rebounds. They were definitely crashing the boards, and they were hustling all over the place. And then Del Fosse had 10 points off the bench. Dudley had 4 off the bench. Let's see. And then Ashley, I can't pronounce her last name, Soflakonich, something like that. I heard them say it, but I can't get myself to say it correctly. She had 2 points and 5 rebounds. But, good young team from Michigan. They're going to be good, over the next couple of years if they can keep their team together. But, so UCLA gets the win there. Now, they're still the second-ranked team, 23-1. And they have 3 more games remaining, 5 games remaining. You have Michigan State, that's on Wednesday, the 11th, and then next week, Indiana and Washington. Washington will be the last ranked team that they'll face. That'll be Thursday, February 18th. And then the last 2 games of the season are against Wisconsin and USC. And USC's been playing better. They've been getting some wins, so good for them. But anyway, that's it for this one, and we'll see you next time.